we never plan this stuff. It just all kind of flows out.
Yeah, that worked out really well.
What we say to each other cannot be divisive.
Gosh, I just think that when we get so focused on walking the line and just miss so much of God's creativity.
We only created the Odd Show to have this conversation.
Right.
We're gonna say some bad things about stuff. If you're
Not bad things like,
if you're a huge Toby Mac
turn it off now.
For people who are struggling with why would a God of the universe care about me individually, you are his favorite. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is The Odd Show. Let's get right into it. Here's your hosts, Bruce Bugano and Thomas Hogan. That kind of leads into the next question. Like,
oh yeah.
So are you just trying to avoid accountability or tithing or both?
Yes. Which the answer to that, emphatically, is I'm trying to avoid accountability, waking up on Sunday, and tithing. And if I can,
That's
if
the
you have a
trifecta,
church,
man.
if you have a church that already avoids those things, then I can probably be a part of that. I could probably be a part of that.
I can get behind that.
Yeah, that is I wouldn't say a common question, but that is a question I've heard.
What if it's a church that's
several
like,
times over?
You don't need to be accountable to us. Don't show up on Sunday morning. We need you to tithe.
2 out of 3 ain't bad. 2 out of 3. I might.
You don't even have to come.
I might be lenient on one of them if they give me the other 2.
Just write the check.
Just write the check.
No,
No, I don't. But I think that's a fair criticism from the outside, from the church world anyway. A fair criticism would be I'm trying to. It might look like I'm trying to avoid the church's version of accountability, which is accurate. I don't look at that as legitimate accountability. Like, I'm accountable to Bruce, right? So if I say, hey man, we're gonna commit to doing this thing together, and I don't do it, Bruce can be like, hey, you didn't do that thing, right? and then there's a conversation and we get to work through it. And
it's built out of an understanding that like we care about each other.
Right.
There's mutual respect and submission to each other. And in that mutual submission and respect to each other, I get to call you out. Yeah.
But and then you get to encourage me also.
Right.
And it's meaningful because I care where you're coming from. I know you care deeply about my spiritual development, my emotional health, my family. We are mutually supportive, right? And that's not always the case in church world. Not for everybody. I'm sure some people that's very much the case.
Well, even if it is intended to be the case, it's hard to do that with 1,000 people.
Yeah. So I would argue that with the intimate set of people in my life right now that I reach out and have kind of a daily interaction with, or a continual interaction with, an immediate continual interaction with the people around me right now, I am accountable to them.
Right.
I don't tithe, but I give sacrificially to the needs of people that I feel that the Lord has provided an avenue for the needs of people to be met financially and with resources, and I do that.
And emotionally, because it's not often just connected to just giving money.
Right.
It's connected to
it's
just
time,
deeper
effort,
things.
energy. It's genuine concern.
Right.
And not concerned that there's going to be some reciprocity.
Right, yeah.
But concerned that the gospel...
Reparations!
Reparations.
No, that's a different thing.
Yowza.
Reciprocity.
That there is a spiritual investment.
Right.
In that the gospel needs to be a witness to these people, right, or to the situation, or to this problem that we're going to fix, or we're going to attempt to minister to, and that's meaningful. Like it for us. So I am more accountable, I believe, now than I've ever been in my life, to people's real needs, not like some arbitrary standard that somebody set out there that I can't.
Right.
We don't expect.
Because I mean, like, let's be honest. If you're going to church on Sunday and you're having an affair, nobody knows. And the likelihood of people finding out because of the lack of intimacy and the lack of close connection, most people won't notice. But if you're in small community with people,
Mhm.
somebody's going to notice, man, something ain't right. Like, what is going on with you, man? Like, man, you ain't showing up at home. You ain't going to work like you're supposed
Your
to.
wife
like,
is
your
stressed out all the
wife is, like,
time. You get
dude,
kids. Your kids don't listen to anything you say.
Right,
They don't take
like-
you seriously.
like, you're checked out. Like, what is going on,
Yeah.
man? Like,
So I'm saying, in that sense, I feel like I
Right.
have more accountability in my life than I've ever. When I was in church leadership, than I ever had. Then definitely. The tithing thing I can't argue with. I mean, yeah, I don't not go to church so I don't tithe.
Right.
But I don't. I just don't make. I just don't think it's.
I don't,
I don't
you
make it
you
a
don't
big deal.
tithe, so you can't go to church.
Right. I don't. It's like, I'm not
the other way
saying.
around.
I'm not saying all tithers. I'm not saying. Only,
I'm not allowed to go to church because I don't tithe.
That's not true. Because if that were true, then
Right.
most of the church would be gone.
Right. They just don't know.
They just don't
They
tell
can't
anybody.
pinpoint because they're like, I tithe cash.
I tithe.
How come everybody tithes cash and we don't get that much cash?
Yeah, that's a good question.
How much are you guys tithing?
That's a good question, Pastor. Yeah. So no, for me, no.
Can we get on accountability groups for just a second?
Go ahead, go nuts.
Stop it.
Stop all the
Stop.
accountability groups.
Stop doing them. It's not
I wasn't gonna go that
it's
far.
not real.
I wasn't.
Most of the time. Sometimes.
90%.
But most of the time it's not real.
90% of
Most of the time it's like you see the people once a week and you promise each other that you could call each other if you needed, but you won't because you only see each other for 2 hours on a Wednesday night or a Thursday night. Or Thursday
that's pretty
morning.
consistent, actually. I think that's
But even
that's
still,
like a Bible study almost.
yeah. But I mean, most accountability groups are Bible studies.
Most accountability groups are.
But they're only accountability groups
Are
because
good
at the
ideas.
beginning of the beginning of the session, you ask each other if you've been pure.
Yeah.
Like, have you
I would
done?
I would say most accountabilities are good. Accountability grouping is a good idea. It is.
The
It
intent's
is not
good.
a sensible execution. I would argue.
I've been in enough accountability groups to know that, especially when new people come into the accountability group that's been meeting for any kind of length of time, and everyone's like, "Have you done anything this week?" Nope, I'm good, man. Looked at porn lately? Nope. And it's like nobody knows.
Liars.
When it gets to that new guy, it's just like,
How
how about you? And he's like, I'm new. I don't know why you're asking me that. I don't know you. No, I'm good. And it forces lie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
So I would to that point, I would say that Jesus was exposed to the apostles, to the disciples, on a consistent enough basis to where they knew Jesus' pattern of behavior.
right.
And Jesus knew their pattern of behavior. And Jesus didn't constantly, for 3 years, he was committed to this ministry with these men. And he didn't constantly come back to them and be like, hey, Peter, are you still lying?
Right.
Hey, James, you still do. Judas, you still got that money issue? Or are we gonna do we need to deal with that? He knew the hearts.
He
of
knew
the
them well
people.
enough, but he also was God, so he probably knew some other stuff.
Yeah, he probably
like he
knew
could
some
be like,
shit.
"Get behind me, Satan."
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I think it's
sorry.
funny. I like whenever they wake him up and he's like, "Listen, you faithless perverts. I don't want to have to deal with you guys all the time. Just you could have done all this stuff. You could have
Right.
told. We could have just gotten over to the other side of the ocean. I was taking a nap. Why'd you wake me up? So I mean,
like, how bad could the storm be if Jesus is sleeping in the boat?
it's like just
I'm
listen,
sure.
you faithless perverts. I love that line. It's great. I feel so when I look at it, I just don't think it's necessary. I think it's necessary that you're accountable.
Right.
But I think you're accountable to God and you're accountable to the call of ministry. What you're offering people needs to be real and genuine.
Right.
And so if you're real and genuinely messed up, then that's what you need to be offering people. Hey, I'm working through my addiction to pornography, and will you pray with me and allow me to be healed and help me get to a place where I'm whole, or I'm dealing with my just ridiculous amount of envy for my neighbor's
Right.
car.
And what I find is far more authentic is very much smaller groupings of people.
Yeah.
sitting
So I
together.
say be
one or two other people
be
like,
accountable.
that you're able to be like, hey man, like I'm messed up, and I don't want, like, it's possible.
Yeah, I'm sure some people do it.
Like
Well.
some accountability groups are probably solid, and everyone's
Yeah, there's probably like 6 guys who've been meeting since like 1974,
right,
and they're like on it.
and those guys are like,
They're doing it. They're like,
they have been
yeah.
free from porn for at least 4 years.
So,
At
yeah.
least 4
Oh,
years.
jeez.
Anyway, so that was just
tirade. That was you're done with the accountability group. So I'm not against accountability. I'm pro accountability. I'm even pro.
No, yeah.
I'm pro giving. I'm pro
Right.
like go
Me too.
nuts, man.
I'm pro submission.
Be completely generous in
Right.
your and don't be selfish and don't hold back whenever the needs of other people outweigh your wants. Be okay with that. Know
Right.
that that's coming. That's the direction we're kind of going. There's
Right.
no and that any justification outside of that is selfishness on my part.
Right.
And my wife is like quick to point it out now. We're at a point in our accountability where I'm like, my wife commits to something financially, and I'm like, but I wanted to go on vacation with them. I really wanted to go on vacation, and then they're like, yeah, well, the needs of others. And I'm like, dang it, you're right. Stop saying that.
She's like, it's written right there.
It's written on the wall. You got, I guess the needs of others do matter. So that's kind of where we're at. So I'm all for all that stuff.
Right.
So no, the answer is no. I'm not trying to avoid accountability, tithing, or waking up on
Probably
Sunday.
giving more money.
I am
now.
trying to avoid waking up on Sunday, but I still
Probably
do
giving
it.
more money now than
Oh
you
yeah,
did every
definitely.
time.
No, there's no comparison. I would go back to tithing. Actually, financially speaking, if I wanted to be in a better place financially, I'd go back to tithing. I would be I would enjoy the extra that came to me if I could go back to tithing.
You know, God can do more with 90% than He can do with 100%.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
Oh, I'm
pretty sure that's biblical.
I'm a little curious what he's doing with the 50% I'm already giving him. I'm
Right.
like, how's this working out?
That wasn't the formula.
This does not make any sense.
90 and 10.
But we
That's
just
number.
we trust God to take care of that.
All right.
Checking out The Odd Show. You can follow Bruce on Twitter at BPags2 and Thomas at BlenderZen. Remember to rate and review us on iTunes and share us with your friends. Until next time, stay odd.